Hi, everyone. Happy Sunday. Good to see you. I'm glad you joined us. Hi, Josh. How are you? Good to see you're here. Hi, Joe. Welcome. Hoping you're having a good weekend and a great Sunday. How's Dad? Glad to hear you're doing well. Joe and Josh, Dave is still not getting a whole lot better. We had our first appointment with a specialist this past week, and hopefully, um, we're going to get, well, I know we're going to have a couple more meetings with other specialists, and then on or about the 20th, they're going to go over the results of all these tests that we've got and give us some ideas what's going on and what we can do about it. The folks are fine, they're on scooter ride. Oh, good. Glad to hear they're doing well. Well, they gave him a new medication last week, and it seems to help a little bit. He's not having quite so many AFib episodes. The ones he's having are still pretty scary. Hi, Barbie. Good to see you. But they haven't stopped. He's still having a lot of the AFib episodes. Hello, Ruth. Yeah, Josh. He's trying real hard to stay in touch with you guys. He feels it's real important, and he's very excited about the plans for Christmas. For those of y'all that don't know, Josh is David's son, and David also has a daughter, and these are by his former wife. And the son and daughter, and hopefully the grandson, will be here for Christmas this year, and we're all excited that they're coming. We can't wait to see them. It's been a long time since we've seen them all. So we had never met our grandson, but we've seen the son. And oh, is he? Oh, I'm so glad. David will be glad to know too. He wasn't sure. But it's been many years since we've seen Josh, and it's been a while since we've seen Kinder too. Kinder is his daughter. Talk to him about it, and he really wants to go too. Oh, I'm so glad. Barbie, with hi Ellie. He's had one ablation, and they're doing some testing over the next 2 weeks to find out if he's going to need a pacemaker or not. Hi Terry. And they're doing some other testing to see if they can't narrow down exactly what's going on. And like I said, about the 20th, we'll have some idea of what's going on. Hello, Arthur. Good to see you. Goodness, lots of folks are showing up. Don't forget thumbs up, folks. Anyway, we're encouraged. The doctors seem to think that whatever this is, that they can get on top of it real quickly. Barbie, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. We ask for everyone's prayers. It's very important. Prayers make a huge difference to us. So thank you for your offer for prayers and for all of the rest of you too. Thanks, Josh. I'm glad I'm here to be with him and help him too, because I don't like the fact that he's having these problems. And I especially don't like the fact that there's not really much I can do other than just be here and encourage him and trying to take up the slack when he has problems. You've been caring for collecting food for your pantry for winter. We've already have low temps and high 40s. My goodness, Terry, that's amazing. 40s overnight. We're still in the 90s during the day, although it is better. It's only in the mid 90s instead of being up in the hundreds. So it's cooling down here too. Um, I didn't can any fruit this week, but I did can some hamburger meat, and I just thought of something I want to share y'all if I can find it real quick. If I can get my phone right side up too. Okay. I'm going to try and see if y'all can see this. Hello, all things acres. Good to see you. I don't know if you can tell what that is. That is, here's another view of it. I went to Walmart yesterday and they had all kinds of canning supplies. I got 2 cases of wide mouth um, quart sized jars for my meat storage. I store all of our meats in the pint size in the wide mouth. And they had them, well, you saw they had just shelf after shelf after shelf, and it was only $10 a case. So it's a little more expensive than it was before all of this craziness started, but it was not as expensive as I've seen it in other places. So I grabbed 2 right away, and I've got 10 pounds of hamburger meat I've got to put in jars today. So Joe says you've been getting stuff put away, cleaning, and been going shooting on the weekends, restocking what we use at the range. That's a good thing to do. Keep those supplies up. That's the key to Kate's heart. Show up with canning supplies in your going. That's about the truth of the matter, Josh. People show up with canning supplies. I'm glad to have them. Oh, goodness. It's been so hard to get them. Oh, and another thing they had was they had the boxes of just the flats, not the rings for the lids, but just the flat parts. And they were on sale too. So I have a supply of both now. So that's very exciting to me anyway. One of the things I've been doing, I've been reading a lot about getting prepared. Hi, Amy. Good to see you. Glad you came to join us today. A lot, I was going to say, one of the things I've been doing is reading a lot on being prepared. And one of the things that a lot of people really stress is learning skills that you can use. And I've been trying for years to learn as many skills as I can. I can do all kinds of food preparation and storage. I'm a fairly decent barber. I can bind books. I'm just all kinds of things. But one of the things that I've not had much luck learning to do is make baskets. And I've tried to do weaving of baskets and just had no luck with it at all. But I saw something or several somethings about forming baskets and bowls. And so I got some supplies and I started them. This is a hot pad. The inside of these rolls is clothesline, not wire, but clothesline rope. And it is covered in just some spare crochet yarn that I happen to have. But it's real thick and it's real sturdy. And that was such an easy thing. I mean, I say it was an easy thing. It's a very time-consuming thing to make this, but it's not difficult. It's just time-consuming. And it took me about 5 hours to do this. But at least now I know how. So I graduated to the next step. And that was, I am now making bowls. This is the same clothesline pole, or clothesline wire, or rope, I'll get it right yet. And it is now wrapped in cotton string you can buy on these rolls like this. And this represents another 8 or 10 hours of work, but it's very simple. It's not hard to do. And I do it in the evenings when I'm sitting and watching television with David. So it's easy to do. Hi, Tim. Good to see you. And finally, this is about 15 hours of work, but it is going to be a large, like a platter or a tray or something of that nature. And it's just going to continue to get wider and wider and wider. And it just bends up a little tiny bit. It's kind of, right now, it's kind of out of shape because I've been carrying it all over the house. But that's my newest skill, is I'm going to be able to make bowls and baskets and things of that nature. And that's going to be so easy to do. And it may make a really good thing to have. Who knows, people might need it in the future. So that's what I'm excited about. Yeah, it is kind of a Zen activity, Josh. It really is. Well, Amy, you have strengths and good things of your own. You do things that I just really don't I can't do it all. So we all have our own strengths. Joe, your granny used to make things like this. My family has not done any of this kind of stuff that I know of. I haven't found any indication that anybody knew. My family has been good with needlecrafts. They do a lot of crochet and knitting and embroidery and things like that, but they've not done this making baskets and that sort of thing. So it's something that's new to my family, although it's obviously not new to the world. I found like 15 or 20 videos on how to do it on YouTube, just one quick search. But I'm finding that I really like it, and I have went to a craft fair this weekend and found that some people use the long leaf pine needles, the ones that are about 6 inches long, to make uh, bowls like this, only in the center, instead of having the clothesline rope, they have bundles of pine needles, and they just keep adding, and then wrap them and make these bowls like this. So there are several things you can use to make it, but I'm really, really excited about my new skill. My parents were Depression era, and my grandmother was born in 1905, so she was an adult during the Depression. And they didn't do it that I know of. They haven't told us. They never told me if they did it. So, and I was constantly badgering my grandmother and my mother to teach me things from when they were kids. So, I think if they had known that, they would have probably passed it along. You're right, Josh. Depression era folks do have a different outlook, or did have a different outlook. There's not all that many of them around anymore, but it was an outlook of necessity. They had to do that. They had to make things out of unexpected supplies and things because they just didn't have anything. And if they wanted something, they had to make it. Your grandfather used to say, make what you can. You can't, then can it, which means find ways to make what you need. And if you can't find ways to do it, don't worry about it. Go on to something else. Your dad says that all the time to me too, Josh. So I make what I can with what I can find. So I'm also trying to learn to use cattail fronds to do the same thing. Yeah, well, I have a hard time throwing stuff away. I think some of that has to do with uh, what you have when you're young. And we didn't have a lot when I was young. My dad was a wonderful man, but he was not a good provider. Hi, Celtic. It's good to see you. I hope you're feeling well. And have you picked up your chair yet? I was so excited that you got that approved finally. In your downtime, you're usually on the net getting stuff ready. Yeah. In my downtime, I spend a lot of time on the net too, but usually it's looking for new skills I can learn from watching and then practice and maybe use it for bartering or helping somebody else out. Thanks, Josh. I appreciate it. So, what has anybody else done in the way of preparing for down times or preparing for hard times? Annie, it's wonderful to see you. Welcome. That's okay, Josh. When we do things like that, we yell a lot. Sometimes it's the only way to get it seen. Tim says it's the same way you would take yuck and make something out of it. Yeah, that's exactly what we are too, Tim. End of September. Okay, Celtic, I'm glad to know it's coming soon. Hi, Susanna. Good to see you. That's what makes the homesteading community so great. Each of us have our own gifts and talents and share with others. It's the sharing part that I think makes us stand head and shoulders above so many other groups, is that we do share. I do a lot of that too, Kate. I'm good with mechanical stuff. I'm not at all good with mechanical stuff, Joe. When I was younger, I used to be, but I just can't seem to do it anymore. You do great customer service. Yes, you do, Josh. You certainly do. You get along with people, or at least you appear to get along with people. I haven't been around you when you were doing that enough to know for sure. Let's see, and make things out of nothing. Celtic, I can believe that. I can believe that. You seem to be really talented with that sort of thing. Well, this afternoon, I'm going to take that 10 pounds of hamburger meat that I got and I'm going to get it into jars and get it pressure canned and on my shelves. Let's see, last night we got to go see our oldest daughter. I saw that. Now, when are we going to get to see the video of her singing? I'm so proud of her. Ooh, Susanna, you can 17 jars of peach salsa. That's amazing. That is amazing. Does peach salsa have peppers in it? Would have been 18, but apparently the cook did a lot of taste testing. Yep, I understand that. Healthy, not just meatloaf. I can all of my hamburger meat, and then I can use it for all sorts of things, not just meatloaf, but most of the Italian style dishes that I make, you can take it that way. I do shepherd's pie, just a lot of things like that. Wooden jars for dry goods. Tim, that would be fascinating. It would be great because it would be uh, dark. The sun couldn't get to them. So that would be super. Joe, I spent a big chunk at the store, so it's cutting into your activities. I do that a lot. Annie, I can't get a pressure canner here in Ireland, can only do water bath canning. Annie, I'm sorry to hear that. Can you not get it through Amazon? Oh, okay, Susanna. I could not enjoy that because I'm so allergic to all the peppers. Josh, I did not see it, but no, I don't brown mine first. I do what's called raw packing. Um, when you do it, you just shove shove the meat into the jars and get as much of the air out as possible. And put your seal on it, pressure can it. It makes its own broth at the same time, and it cooks it. We're going to premiere the video this afternoon at 4 Central. She'll be here for a short live stream afterwards. I will be sure and watch that. Very good. Very good. I'm excited to hear about her experience. Starting to get back in the shop after a year. Oh, Tim, I'm so glad, but I understand it's been a while. Uh, when you're fighting physical illnesses, it's hard to stay up on that. Shipping is 200 pounds plus. Oh, my word. That's amazing, Annie. Wow. Well, I guess you'll have to depend more on dehydrating or salting or things like that for the things that shouldn't be water bath. She was so nervous, but I think she did a fantastic job. I bet she did, Amy. I bet she did. That is great. Cannot imagine 200 pounds shipping. That's awful. Hmm. I wonder why it's so hard to get them in the UK. I've had people in England that said the same thing. Budgeted for a lot of canned foods, going to try corned beef hash. You never ate it. Oh, Joe, that is something I absolutely adore. I've had it since I was a kid, and oh my goodness, we um, we always put it in a pan and heated it up, got a brown crusty on the outside, and then served it with poached eggs on top, and it is just wonderful. You have a dehydrator and a large chest freezer. Very good. Josh says, I'm no dullard, but mechanical things escape me. In survival situations, I do have first response training and that rare commodity that I got from my dad, common sense. Yeah, that is pretty rare. You're right about that, Josh. Need to get back to canning again, freezing. Amy, that's one reason why I'm canning because my freezers, all three of them, are stuffed to the gills, and I need to get things in cans. Um, Joe, canned corned beef is different flavor, but it is a good flavor. You just have to not expect it to taste just like fresh. Doctor said your cancer's gone. Oh, Tim, that is wonderful. Congratulations. That is awesome, awesome, awesome. Celtic, you can have my share of the beets. I do not care for beets, and they don't like me either. So you can have all of my share of the beets, but I'll take the corned beef and the spets. I am so pleased. Oh, I forgot to show you one other thing. A couple of weeks ago, I showed you that I had started making the sleeping mats out of the Walmart bags. I ran out of bags. But now remember, this is a child's sleeping bag. This is not for an adult. But it's growing. I just have to get some more bags. I've used all the bags I had. So pretty soon it'll be good enough that I'll be able to take it down to our shelter and give it to someone. And I've got people saving, but I seem to go through them pretty quickly. Ah, well, I'm glad you like them, Celtic, but like I said, I don't care for beets, and beets don't care for me either. So I stay away from them. And David doesn't care for them much either, so we just don't have them around here. My youngest sister, when she was alive, absolutely adored beets. When she was a tiny baby, I was 9 years older than she was. And when she was a tiny baby, Mama would give her pickled beets. She'd sit her in her high chair and just put beets on her high chair tray, and the kid would eat beets as long as Mama would give it to her. Um, so much so that her urine got bright red. I mean, she just kept eating, kept eating. So it was something else. Let's see. You're going to start making rough solar ovens. How are you going to do that, Tim? Are you going to make frames with window screen and suspend them? Or are you going to try and build a frame? What are you going to do with it? Me too, Amy. I don't, like I said, I don't really care for it at all. You like the beet tops too? Well, I've been told that you can take the beet tops and dehydrate them and grind them and put them in with your super greens that can be mixed in smoothies or whatever else, and they don't really change that flavor much. I've got dry mouth today, sorry. I had some breakfast this morning. I don't usually eat before our live streams, but I had some breakfast this morning because I was so hungry, and it has played a bad trick on me, and now I've got really, really dry mouth. So pardon me while I keep drinking. It's worse than usual. Most of what you do, you're alone, but I help two new people get their very first game. Very good, Joe. That's very good. Ah, okay. Like Swiss chard. Well, that's another one. I don't think that my system, or at least I know I don't care much for the bitter herbs or the bitter greens. Oh, very good, Amy. I'm so glad that you got your garden planted. I've got to do mine. Okay, Joe, we'll see you. Arthur, that I don't even use it for those. Idaho Hoosier. Hello, how are y'all? Update on David is he's not feeling well again today, but we've been to the one doctor and we have four more doctor's appointments and tests in the next 2 weeks. And on the 20th or so of this month, we should discuss the results of all the tests, and hopefully the doctors will have some idea of what's next. With a glass lid. Ooh, that ought to be interesting, Tim. Hmm. I can have Brussels sprouts. Now, I will take the Brussels sprouts if you'll take the beets. I love Brussels sprouts, but I just can't eat beets. So we'll trade out. We'll barter. Mm-mm-mm. Julie, it's okay that you were a little bit late. I always say, as long as you make it here, there is no such thing as late. I'm just glad everybody can come by. I really am. Another thing they're good for, Arthur, is they make a beautiful red natural dye. So if you're dyeing cotton or other natural um, fibers, beets make a beautiful dye. I do too, Amy. Brussels sprouts are one of my favorites, but David doesn't eat them at all. Of course, it also depends on how you do it. So Brussels sprouts are hard. Well, you probably don't care much for cabbage either, do you, Josh? Cabbage is something I wanted to plant this year in my fall garden. I hope I get it done. Something that's eating my potatoes. I'm not sure what it is, but They've gone after my potato plants, and they've gone from lush and beautiful and tall to almost no leaves left at all and looking very sickly. Still fighting the pestilence, 19 cough, but no fever for 6 days. Oh, that is wonderful. That is good news, Julie. I'm glad no fever. You are definitely on the mend. Mm, that's great news. Well, I don't have a whole bunch of anything to really tell you guys today. The pictures of the Walmart shelves being so full for the first time in 14 or 15 months is really exciting. But my new skills are about the only thing I have to talk about. I haven't spent much time doing anything else. I called my niece, and she took my dad to the doctor to see about his ankle. I don't remember if I told y'all, but he had fallen several weeks back, and he did in fact break his ankle. And the doctor, when we finally got him there a week and a half later, put him in a boot, and he almost immediately said, "That's much easier to walk. I like this." So now that he's had the boot for 2 weeks, my niece took him back for the update because I was taking David for the first of his tests, and they say he is healing, and it'll be another 6 to 8 weeks before he can even consider taking the boot off. But he said that he likes it so much that that's not a problem. So I'm really good. Very good, Josh. I'm really glad to hear you're going to go ahead and start even at age 48. I had a friend when I lived in Austin who started college, had never been before, but started college at 69 years old. And he loved every minute of his college, and he got his degree and was really pleased with it. He lived in 2 years after he got his degree. So that was what he wanted, and I was real proud of him for it. Hi, Lisa. Not a whole lot of change right now. We have some new medication, and we've got a bunch of testing going on over the next couple of weeks. So we'll see. 8 to 10 inches of rain. Oh my stars, Amy. That's amazing. Had ordered Instacart to Family Dollar with no bleach. You know, maybe I'm just, you know, I go to Costco, and at Costco is where I have been able to find the bleach. And I don't use bleach for much, but I'm really, really glad that I can get it or have been able to get it so far. I've got 3 gallons of it sitting in my pantry right now. Because last time I was there, I bought another 2 gallons. Thank you, Lisa. We do appreciate the prayers. We really do. Prayers are, as far as we're concerned, prayers are the most people can do for us. Just keep our name up there before the Lord. He knows what we need, but the more people pray, the sooner it'll happen, we think. I think it's going to be interesting. Other than a computer science course and an algebra course, all I need is about a year and a half of all elective credits. Focusing on archaeology. That's a fascinating field of study, Josh. We watch a lot of shows on Nature Channel and stuff like that, and they're often referred to archaeologists and what they can tell us about the past. I'm glad that you're interested in it. Totally different experience as an adult. You know, Celtic, my parents forced me to go to college the year after I graduated from high school. You go to Home Depot for the bleach. Is it just regular like Clorox, or is it some of that stuff that they call pool shock? Anyway, my parents forced me to go, and I told my mother, if you force me to go, because I did not want to go, if you force me to go, I will fail. And they just didn't believe me, so they forced me to go. I had to take 2 classes. I had to take intermediary math is what they called it. It was math for people who had not had algebra and that kind of stuff in high school. And I had to have shorthand. And I had a D- on intermediary math, and I failed shorthand. And my mom went to talk to the lady that taught it. And the lady said, your daughter would have passed the class with an A, but she refused to do the timed writing. And Mom asked me later on, why did you refuse to do the timed writings? And I said, because I can take their dictation on the typewriter and keep up with them and miss the in between. So why in the world should I do extra work? So they didn't ask me to go to college after that. Hello, Sean. It's good to see you here. I'm glad you took a break to stop in and say hi. I'm just glad I learned to use guns before ammo went crazy in price and I got a decent education before the schools went the way they did. Yeah, me too, Joe. I'm not a classroom type student. I learn much better by putting my hands on whatever it is and learning by doing. Can't fault my logic there. Thanks, Josh. Getting cold. I have a fan on over my head. David likes to keep the temperature down in the low 70s, so I get chilly. If you come to the house and I'm sitting in the living room, chances are pretty good I will be under a blanket. So thanks, Sean. I'll tell him that you said so. Yeah. Sean, did you do anything this week to prepare for your to increase your preparedness? Oh, Amy, did you say you're going to do your live stream with your daughter at 3 or at 4 Central Time today? I'm sorry, but I don't remember what you said. Anthropology and archaeology. Well, that's an interesting combination. Okay, Sean, we'll wait. We won't go anywhere, I promise. One recommendation, Josh, get a laptop. Yes. Tim, thank you so much for dropping in. I'm so glad you're doing better. Please let me know when you decide about the storage jars in wood. I would be very interested in some if you do. John, if you're not busy later this afternoon, we'll be doing the premiere. 4 Central. See, I knew I had it wrong. I'm pretty excited about that. I know you guys are too. What sounds cool, Joe? Got my meats for winter smoked and put away. Still dehydrating peppers and chard. Put back some cherry tomatoes. Posted a couple of vids, 4 live streams, and got a knife for my go bag. My word, you have had a busy week, Sean. That's incredible. Josh Cheyenne is a beautiful girl too. She really is. And she has a lovely voice. Oh goodness. Well, folks, things are slowing down here. I think I'm probably going to close up a little early today. Give y'all a chance to hang out and do things you don't normally do because you're busy with us. I can't wait either, Josh. I'm really excited that you guys are going to come for the, I don't know how long even. David didn't say that, but I'm really excited to see you all. It'll be so nice. I'm busily trying to plan where I'm going to put everybody. So today is a mix of working outdoors between raindrops and working indoors. Now I need to go outdoors and get some things done too. I'm getting ready to start that air layering. I finally have everything. The last of it came yesterday from Amazon. So I'm going to be doing air layering my peach trees and some mulberry trees since the last ones didn't work too well. And I promised Brett that I would air layer some mulberry trees for him. So I definitely will. I definitely will tell him. Yeah. Thank you. I know he'll be excited, and he has not been up to check any emails, so I'm sure he hasn't gotten it unless you sent it yesterday, which means he might have seen it last night. But I'm sure he didn't because he would have told me. Take care, Celtic. Go slow on that walk. Don't push yourself. Yeah, I'm really pleased that Sean's back to work too. That was a real blessing and an answer to a lot of prayer. Thanks, Josh. I appreciate it. As you know, your dad is a very special person to me. Oh, I thought you were saying you had a job. Sorry, Sean. I misunderstood what you said. Take care, Josh. Guys, with that, I think I'm going to go ahead and go to give you a couple of minutes to give me any prayer requests that you have. Oh, thank you, Lisa. You're awfully sweet to say that. Thanks, Celtic. You've been putting your summer garden to sleep for winter, preparing new flower beds for next year. Oh, that sounds wonderful. I need to do some flower beds, which reminds me, I wanted to remember and tell y'all, Michelle, yes, yes, we will pray for Michelle too. Thank you, Amy. Um, I got several pots with a plant called Pride of Barbados in it. I don't know if y'all know what Pride of Barbados is, but it is a rather large shrub when it's at its maturity. And it has the most beautiful red and orange flowers. It just covers the bush. And I was lucky I ordered some, turned out from a lady very close by off of Facebook Marketplace, and I got them all planted. So I'm really, really excited. Take care, Sean. We'll see you next week. I'm probably going to be closing pretty soon. Joe, we keep you on there all the time. Okay, we've been on 38 minutes. I think I'm going to go ahead and close it down for now, folks. Keep praying for your Social Security. You're on the list, Lisa, and we'll stay there until you tell us to take you off. Annie, I took a lot of cuttings last year from my mother-in-law's garden before she passed away, planting them in your garden. Oh, that's wonderful. I love being able to pass along like that. Not only do you get lovely plants, but they bring memories of people in your past. Well, guys, y'all take care and have a good, good week. I'm sorry I'm cutting. Oh, hello, Loretta. You got here just as I was closing off the day. Um, I was going to say, have a wonderful week. Thank you, Ruth. I appreciate it. I'll tell him that you said hi. And we will be back next Sunday. Hopefully, David will be a little better by then. Well, Loretta, normally I don't shut off this early, but it's been a stressful week, and I think I just need some time to just sit and veg. So thank you, Annie. Thanks, Lisa. I do appreciate your prayer and remembering us. Y'all take care, and I'll see you next week. Bye, y'all.